Hi, everybody. My name is Rita Crompton. I am also known as the Inventor Lady. And I cannot tell you how often an inventor calls me from somewhere in the country and said, I've got this really great idea, but I have no money. And it's tough because in the beginning you are self-funded. There's no grants out there. There's nobody who's going to magically, give you money. If you don't have a money tree growing in your backyard, you've got a problem. And that is just the reality. Money is hard. For inventors, money is the second biggest challenge to placement. All right. Honestly, to place a product in a store, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It's a problem. But let's go back to the topic of today's conversation, which is money. And, in the early stages, I get inventors who don't even have the $500 to do a comprehensive search. And it's a problem. There's no doubt about it. It's a tough problem. So even if when we look at Archimedes Offspring, which is the funding mechanism that is now available to inventors for those early stage fundings that, people wouldn't even look at you unless you had already had product manufactured and you were in the marketplace. So Archimedes Offspring is the one funding mechanism that will actually work with inventors early stage, right? But you still have to go out the door with the $500 and a patentability opinion. Now, Archimedes Offspring can arrange it so that you are reimbursed that if you are chosen to participate in the fund. However, in the beginning, you are still out the door at least about $1,500 or in that neighborhood, depending on who does the review of the search to give you the patentability opinion. A registered patent attorney, their hourly rate is the big variable. Ask what the hourly rate is and what the patentability opinion is going to cost. It can be anywhere from $750 to $2,500. So you certainly want to know before you ask them to do it, what the invoice is going to look like. So is there any place that you can go to look for money where you don't have to sell your soul? So many inventors, when they go out there, it's like, but I need to get funding for this. You get forced into those old paradigms. Do a business plan. Do a business plan on what, for goodness sakes? You don't have a business yet. That is like the kiss of death. That is somebody telling you, I have no answer for you, but do a business plan. It's their way of saying there's no way in the world we're going to give you any money, but do a business plan. It's the brush off. Don't do a business plan. All right. A legitimate licensee could care less what your business plan is. They already have their own. They don't need you to tell them what it'll be. All right. So what they want to know is, what problem have you solved? And did you use a registered patent attorney to file the patent? Those are the two big questions here that you need to keep in mind. So when we're going out the door, you don't want to sell your soul, right? Venture capitalists, you're selling your soul, all right? Generally, what you get back in return for a first invention is so little, even if you qualify. And besides, you've already sold your soul because you're $250,000 in debt, or you've promised everybody and their brother a return on an investment. And when you start really counting the pennies, you don't even get a return on the investment. Be careful, right? There's a lot of sharks out there, no pun intended. And it doesn't matter if you put them in a suit or high heels, they're still going to eat you, right? It's a shark. They're going to eat you alive most often. So what do? Archimedes Offspring, right, is the new funding mechanism for inventors who are just getting started and don't want to spend all of their own money. It is a mentoring guide and a funding option for you. So we're not going to let you make a mistake, right? We're going to tell you up front what to expect. We're going to tell you through the process what to expect. We are going to look at your service providers and say, let's find a different one. That one's too expensive. There are good ones out there. We are going to help you understand the right steps before you're wondering where in the world your soul has gone. All right. Before you are out of money and in a world of hurt. And my friend George, he's going to do a video for us that should air next week. And one of the things that he told me yesterday was the wear and tear it has on your family when you're a startup. And I knew it was out there, but I'd heard inventors talk about it, but no one had ever really vocalized All right. Not only are you losing your own soul, but you're frequently pulling the financial rug out from under your family's feet. And the stress now that goes on to a spouse when your life is sucked up by being a startup. And I don't think a lot of inventors realize this, is that when you go into startup mode, it is 24/7. You can kiss vacations goodbye. Not only don't you have any money for a vacation, but you don't have any time for a vacation. When you go into startup mode, right, you've got to keep your day job to pay for it. You've got to be an expert in business. You've got to be an expert in manufacturing, and you've got to be an expert in marketing. Well, which one of those are you going to do? And how in the world are you going to pay somebody else to do the ones you can't? I've never met anybody. Well, I did meet one guy who told me that he was the smartest man that he knows. I think that was his first problem, because nobody's an expert at everything. So when you're looking at doing these things, be honest with yourself. That's the most important thing. What can you do? What can you do well? For a lot of inventors, what they do well is keeping their day job and teeing this up to hand off to somebody else who's going to license it. I was talking to a gentleman this morning, and, we're just working through now the terms of what was offered. And which reminds me, as soon as I get done here, I've got to go respond to that email. We've done a little bit of dancing on getting the terms worded correctly, but now finally have, I think, what is going to be a done deal on a product that will be sold all over the world. Right. And he goes, I don't want to do the heavy lifting. I'm retired. All right. And there's a lot of inventors who get teed up into working on a project because they're retired and now they have time. All right. But they still don't want to give up now their retirement to doing everything. He goes, I want to go to trade shows and I want to have some fun with marketing. But I don't want to do any of the heavy lifting. I'm more than happy to pay for the intellectual property, but I don't want to pay for the manufacturing. I don't want to pay for the marketing. And I don't mind going to trade shows in my own backyard, but that's it. That's all I want to do. And so he is happy and willing to hand off the heavy lifting to a licensee so he can keep his life. Smart man. All right. And as George will tell you when he's talking next week, keep your life. All right. Let somebody else do the heavy lifting. By all means, you want to participate. You want to have some fun with this, but you don't want to sell your soul. And you don't want to end up in a world of financial hurt and debt, because you know what? Your debtors are still going to come after you, even if you don't make it to market. And so you get through all of the phases and you get 5,000 units done. Where are you going to put them? Because stores are not going to want to deal with you when you only have one SKU number. That is just the reality check. So again, we don't want you ending up in a world of hurt. We don't want you selling your soul to anybody. We want to help you manage the process and enjoy the process. My name is Rita Crompton. I help inventors get through the process. So give me a call, shoot me an email. I am happy to answer your questions and to help you out. Talk to you on Monday.